Now that you're at the end of your project and in your new home, what were the circumstances surrounding your need for a new home?
A major fire, big fire. I came home to the fire. It was tragic. I was, when I first wanted to investigate contractors, I was under a lot of emotional duress because I lost my 3 pets during the fire. And I didn't know where to turn or what to do. My neighbor across the street does a lot of research. He's in a wheelchair, and he's an expert on research, and I like research also. And he told me about Millbrook Modular. He showed me the video. I called Carrie Orlandi, your husband, and he said, come on down, and I did. And I was impressed. I was very, very impressed. Trust is a major factor for me because one of the contractors to me was not very trustworthy. And so I came in with hope, but yet apprehension. And after talking to Carrie and knowing your family, and this is a family business and I like that, I could completely relax and go with the plans and tell Carrie. I remember he asked me, he said, what did you like about your house? See, he was not interested in what he wanted to do. He wanted to find out what I wanted. And that made a big impression on me. He said, what do you really want to see in your new home? And I said, light. I want a lot of light. And I want lights and windows and bright. And I have that.
Okay,
I'm so
great.
happy.
All right. So when you met with the Millbrook team, what were some of the thoughts and impressions you developed at that first meeting?
Sure. Well, I met you. Of course, I met Carrie, and I met Mary. What impressed me most was the way that you're respectful, very respectful of people and of each other. Because to do business, you have to have respect and trust. If you don't have that, you're just hanging on. And I like a foundation. And I had a good foundation in my home, and I said, I want a company that has a good foundation and that knows how to treat people the right way and respectfully. So that was my impression, my instincts. I have very good instincts.
Okay,
They
great.
were on target.
So that was your first impression. So how did the experience of building with Millbrook unfold, and how were your first impressions reinforced, or did they change during the process?
I had no idea how much work all of you had to do behind the scenes. I had a little bit of an inkling because at one point I owned my own company. But this is a lot of legwork on your family's part, which took a lot of the burden off of me. And sitting down, realizing that there's so many different models, but I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want. So I started with that, and Carrie kind of walked me, not kind of, he walked me through. And I decided on a particular model, and then we customized, and it was great.
Okay, great. So what part of the process and experience are the most memorable?
The most memorable to me, being very sensitive, your family being very sensitive to the tear down in my home because there were a lot of memories. My husband's deceased, and the sensitivity that all of you showed me, and the respect and the professionalism, that's the most memorable because a house means a lot of things to different people.
Okay, great. So where did Millbrook exceed your expectations during the build?
Where do I begin with that? To give me confidence that with Carrie and your help, Karen, with Carrie's help, your help, Mary's help, and then Thomas, your son, and CJ, your son, and knowing that they were all working together and that they had my best interest, that there's caring here, that my best interest is there. It's wonderful to develop a relationship, and then it's also just as wonderful to know that I can let other people know that there's good, decent, honest people that can help, and particularly when there's a happy occasion. Some people buy a lot, and now this is happy for them, or some people have a tragedy, as I did, and that they can rebuild, and there's hope, and that there's people that will help them to create the home that they want.
How long did it take Millbrook from start to finish to complete the project?
Well, there was an insurance issue for me, but it really didn't take that long. Once the plans were in place, my home came November 18, and I was able to come in January 1. of 2016. So what's that, about 5.5 weeks? Just incredible, incredible.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the craftsmanship of the Millbrook and Apex partnership?
I'd say beyond a 10. So if you say from 1 to 10, of course, definitely it is a 10 and beyond.
So can you comment specifically on what you liked?
Yes. First of all, I want to say my neighbors were all watching, and a couple of them are police officers, and there's one that's a firefighter, and they commented how hard the crew worked because they saw all of you coming in at a certain time and staying, and they said they've never seen another crew stay as late and be as dedicated. So that's all part of it. And the part that really got to me, the parts that I like, the coffered ceiling, my beautiful deck, the cathedral ceiling in my bedroom, the port window that's in my bedroom, the crown molding, the hardwood floors, the oak cabinets, the way that they took care of my basement and made it secure because my cellar had some issues there, and the way the windows are. I love my home. It's a home. It is a home now. But in particular for me, I love the coffered ceilings, and I wasn't going to get them, and I asked Kerry, I said, should I? He said, yes, definitely. And that they were factory. They came from the factory, which they did a special favor because Apex has a relationship with you, and that means a lot too.
Yeah. It sounds as though you had a great experience, but we want to learn from this too. Do you have any ideas for improvement through the whole process? Things that we could do differently to make the whole process better for people?
I wish you had twins for everybody. I can't really think of anything, really. I'd like to be constructive. I wish you had, well, yeah, I told Carrie maybe it's time to hire more people so that you can do more, because I really see that this is a wave of the future, particularly when someone has a major fire. Norm Abrams, this old house, mentioned he had done 6 houses where he rebuilt, and you can always smell the fire. And even with people with water damage too, that mildew and mold, if it gets into a dangerous extent, you're really better off tearing down. I've learned that from just doing all this research. And I'd say I hope you can get some more people so you can do more work. That's my opinion on that.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time. And we enjoyed working with you as well.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Now you're my friends.
Yes. Friends for life.
Thank you. Thank you.